Hey folks, I wanted to share a story with you. It happened to me when I went to McDonald's. I shared this before, but it kind of ties into what I'm going to be talking about today. So I go to McDonald's, right? And the drive-thru was like really, like around the parking lot. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go in. So I go in, and when I go in, there's these guys standing in, like, they've already ordered, so they're standing in the back of McDonald's kind of up against the wall. And so as soon as I go in there, they look at me like to see my reaction. And I'm like, what is going on? And I look, and they have these smirks on their face. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So then all of a sudden, on the other side of the counter McDonald's, I hear $2.49. It sounds like a guy trying to pretend like he's a woman, like his voice. But when he's yelling, it kind of comes off like this, $2.49. So I'm like, and then I'm like, what the hell is that? And then those guys look at me to see my reaction. And then I hear it was basically this guy, let me just explain it. It was this guy dressed up like a woman that worked at McDonald's. And then he says, this guy that's dressed up like a woman working at McDonald's, he goes, hey, look, I gotta go on my break. And so the other guys, I hear their conversation, and they said, you know what, man, it's a sign of the times. And then the other guy said, yeah, I just don't like where the times are taking us. And there is a gender identity crisis in America, and the reason why there's a gender identity crisis in America is because these people don't know that their identity is found within God. So this ties into what we're going to talk about. We are made in God's image. That's what Scripture says. Now, a lot of Christians have been using a technique that I use in debate, and it works great. It's honest, it's sincere, it's powerful, it's not a trick, but it really shows why Christianity is the only rational worldview out there. So, for example, if you click below this video or go to www.shockofnow.net, okay, look right below this video, ShockAwenow.net, shockofnow.net. And I use this in my debate with Steve Shives. You're going to see this below. And I'm going to show you how Cliff, he's a Christian pastor, he also uses it in his street preaching. And I'm going to show you why it is brilliant. So when someone says to you, after you give them all this evidence for God's existence, if they say to you, well, I don't believe God, there's enough evidence, I got to have evidence, I don't believe God exists, what you say is this: well, what evidence do you have that shows, for example, that you should be atheist? Because obviously evidence is important to you. What evidence do you have that shows that you're right, that you should live your life as an atheist or a Muslim, whatever they say? Where is that evidence? And it is pathetic, the type of responses you get. They will not have any evidence. So why, for example, does the atheist reject Christianity? Well, if you can say that stealing's okay, that adultery's okay, that fornication's okay, which is what atheists say, after all, to be an atheist, you're just evolved pond scum. So if you're just evolved pond scum, why would there be things that are evil or good? So to be an atheist, there really is nothing that is evil and nothing that is good. Everything just is. So this is a great way to defeat any atheist in debate. Ask them, what evidence do you have that shows that you're correct? Hold on a second. Look at this donkey. What are you doing? Cute little donkey. What evidence do you have that shows that being an atheist is rational? And they won't have any. You know, I've been challenging atheists for over 7 years to answer one simple question: what proof and evidence can you provide that proves at last that atheism is accurate and correct? And the atheists don't have any evidence. So another argument and evidence for the existence of God is love. If there is no God, then the atheist is just predetermined by their, you know, chemical reactions in their body. The atheist is predetermined to feel a certain way, so they really don't have choice. When the atheist says they love their wife or their girlfriend, or the atheist woman says they love their husband, they really don't. Because after all, how could evolved pond scum, look at all these donkeys, how could evolved pond scum have reason or logic? How could they know rational thinking? After all, they're just evolved pond scum. So when an atheist says that they love, they really don't love. Because after all, they're evolved pond scum. Now, when a Christian says they love, this really is love. Why? Because we are created, and I agree that the atheist is also created, in the image of God. It's just the atheist denies that. So love is really good evidence for the existence of God, because after all, God also is the epitome of love. Now, also design. 100% of the time, we see things that are designed have a creator. This vehicle in front of me is the product of intelligent design. It had a creator. This motorcycle, which is far less complex than you, the viewer, is a product of intelligent design. It has a creator. It is irrational to believe that you, a human that is just a product of pond scum, is not designed, and all of this came about, the eyeball, for example, all this came about by sheer madness and chaos. We've never seen an explosion of chaotic extremes create design. We've always seen explosions actually destroy. I gotta turn around here. Alright, so now we're going to get on at more advanced speed. Love is evidence of God. Figures when I turn around, they're going that way. Love is evidence for God, and design is evidence for God. This motorcycle is extremely complex, but you, the viewer, are more complex than this motorcycle. Let's pick up the speed here. So if this motorcycle cannot come out of a chaotic explosion, then certainly you can. You are the product of intelligent design. I cannot believe that out of pond scum that the eye was formed. And you know the weakest argument for atheism? They say, well, but it happened over billions and billions of years. That is such a weak argument. Time. I don't care how many times we get the parts of this motorcycle and put it in a box and explode it. I don't care how many times we do it, it's not going to come together over time. So it's just a weak argument. Atheism is madness, but definitely check out the video below where Cliff is a brilliant Christian. He's a pastor, and he goes to college universities and campuses, and everyone's slowing down because this donkey. Look at these donkeys right here. So there's wild donkeys out here. Look at all of them. Put this on full screen. Oh, shoot. Right here. Shoot. Look at that. And so we're not allowed in California to move these donkeys because they're like an endangered species. Look at this donkey up on the hill. I gotta be me. And then one more thing. We know that, did you hear that Einstein actually fudged his numbers because he didn't want the Big Bang to show that it had to be created? But Einstein literally, he had to go where the evidence is. We know that the Big Bang is a beginning of the universe, and nothing can't create anything. If I put nothing in my gas tank here, hold on, I got to downshift. Another donkey or something? If I put nothing in my gas tank, I'm not going to get anywhere because nothing is the absence of anything. So something had to create the universe. Remember that song, Nothing from Nothing is Nothing? You got to have something. Excuse my singing voice. Nothing from nothing is nothing. You got to have something. So 100% of the time, we've seen things that are created, we've seen things that are designed that are created. They have a creator. We've never seen things that are designed not have a creator. Love, design, and also the Big Bang all beg for a creator. I want to show you guys something here. If I could get this. See how this says remove before flight? I got this cool little key tag, keychain strap, remove before flight. You know, one time I was in line and there was this like Cholo gang member guy. And I was in kind of towards the front of the line, and then there was a Cholo gang member guy in the middle of the line, and behind him was a guy in a suit. And the Cholo gang member guy had one of these straps, but it said like Chicago Bulls on it, you know, on his key tag. But he was swinging it around, the strap on his key tag, and it almost was hitting the guy behind him, and the guy behind him was like an older guy, short guy. Oh my gosh, look, dead donkey. Oh, that's sad. So not to be insensitive to the dead donkey unless it's just lying there sunning itself. But the Mexican Cholo guy, gang member, was swinging this thing around, and I told him, okay, you know, the wall just got 5 feet higher. No, I'm kidding. So he was swinging the strap around, and the guy behind him was like a really elderly guy, but he was bold, and he said, hey, sir, he goes, could you quit swinging that strap around? I've never been somewhere where people are so rude, where you're just swinging the strap around, it's going to hit me. And the Cholo got very angry and started cussing, and he said, hey, it's a effing free country, and he was like yelling at this guy. And I felt sorry for the guy, so I said, and I knew this was probably going to cause problems and we were probably going to get in a fight, but the joke was so funny I had to say it. And you ever want to tell a joke that's so funny but you know it's probably going to get you in trouble and you know you're going to have a fist fight? But I had to say it. So I said, hey, and it was a big crowded place, and I said, hey, you want to know why he's swinging the strap around? I said, because his mama never swung the strap around. And he came up in my face, and he said some weird stuff. He said, hey, don't talk about my effing parents that way. But we didn't get in a fight or anything. I just looked at him with my best Punisher look. Russo! Russo! No, so I looked at him, and I was surprised that we didn't fight. I thought we were going to fight. but it's good that we did. Anyways, if you ever go into McDonald's and you hear $2.49, maybe you can tell the guy, look, dude, you're made in the image of God. Don't be confused. So God bless you guys. Definitely go below this video to see street preacher and Pastor Cliff as he goes through 11 evidences for God. 11. I just went through 2, but click right below this video, or just remember, go to godwillreturn.com or shockofnow.net. I love you guys. God bless you. Have a great week.